how your rough opening should be when you're doing a flush slider. Solutions 2. You want to make sure that they have a wood blocking finish if possible. And as far as your both sides go, you want to make sure that they invert the stud so when you throw it, you can get the better portion of it. When you start your flush slider, you always want to start with your cased opening, which is your 303, depending on the size. You want to get to either or side, whichever side the door is going to be swinging into, in or out. You go in here, you just throw it like you throw it your normal frame, get it across your sheetrock, flip it to the top. Get yourself a laser level or a level on the side. Make sure it's plumb, screw it down, then on to the next step. Now that we have secured our case opening and we get our screws 8 to 10 inches apart on both sides, your square and plumb, you want to get your dimensions from the face of this case opening to the edge of your sheetrock. Then you want to minus 3/4. For that, you're going to get this, our track, which is the RN 368. And the head track might come a little longer, so when you do measure from there and you minus your 3/4, you also got to know what size you can cut of our flush slider. Because from the plant, it's always going to come at our common number, which for your slider would be 38 to 40 inches. And you don't want to cut on that side because it's already picked out for your opening for your doors. So you will be cutting on the opposite side of that, minusing your 3/4 or whatever you need to on this side. After verifying what side your door is going to slide to, I like to use a rule of thumb and go ahead and look in your accessory pack for your rollers and your stops. Because once you put it on, you would have to take it down to put it back up. So go ahead and preload them. Start with the one bumper, always facing towards wherever your rollers are going to go. Sometimes you might have to loosen that screw. Bring it towards the middle and lock it down. Put your rollers in. You can use the double wheels on either side or on both sides, it doesn't matter. I like to put double on one side and then double on the other side. Just something we like to do. And then you'll get your other stop and bump them together to keep it tight. This way it helps you protect, not cut the side that you need the door to slide into. After preloading your rollers and setting them in place, the next part you want to deal with, it's going to be your RN 366, which is also your vertical. We're going to screw race it, make sure you're on the right side of your screw race and the felt's facing the same side as your track. You want to lift up your track, use your screw race screw, and there's a hole that's pre-punched for you coming from the manufacturer. You want to go ahead and set it in there. Get yourself lined up and screw it down. After it's screwed down, you want to go ahead and insert your RN 351 snap. This is an option that you can have if you're having the transom on top of your flush slider, and just snap it in. The next part of the flush slider, you want to look for your RN 352, which has a hole on one side for your bottom track, and then you have the 2 holes on top for race screw into your top track. When screw racing them, you grab your 2 screw races, put one on top, one on bottom. The hole should line right up. Repeat for the second screw. Make sure to push your felt back in. Look back, and now you're ready to start on the bottom. First part we're going to talk about is RN 151. The RN 151 should measure up the same height as this, from the top to the bottom. Also on our 51 has a hole where it shows you what handing it is. Something's up here. The second piece is going to be RN 366, just like the side one, but it goes at the bottom. And this one you're going to screw race it to the bottom of your channel. The way you get this measurement is to measure from here to here. And that's how you get the measurement on a. The next step is we're going to screw race our 51 to here using our screw race screws with the number 2 square bit. I'm going to grab this, pick it up, always face it towards the side of the screw. Lock it in there, and we'll snap this on, but first maybe we'll do this side next, and then we'll put it together. Now you're ready to install your RN 151 to your RN 366. You want to get the top first on this side, so you're going to want to kind of bend it, leave a gap, because we're going to hit it in with the rubber mallet later on. Get it and start to snap it in. You got to latch on. Lock it. It's always good to have 2 people. Once it's set, then we're ready to screw in that side. Now to flush this out, you want to kind of move this to the side right here. To a block of wood. Make sure you keep it straight. So you get it straight and flush. Next step, we're going to attach our base RN 366, which comes with your screw race hole, and then to our RN 352, or depending on the size. It always comes from the factory with that drilled hole set for you. Get your screw race screw, go through the back, line them up, attach it, all done. Our next step is it's best to have 2 guys, but because it's small, we can do it by ourselves. Grab it. Not too heavy. Set it in place. You always want to do this, insert this side first. Go all the way over. Have a rubber mallet ready for you. You want to tuck this side in. Be gentle. Get to your mark that you have on the bottom. Make sure you're all set, tight. You need to go that way just a little. Tighten it up. And there you have it. Flush ladder. After setting it up, we like to pre-drill holes on your track where you're going to tie into the top. Using the sheetrock screws by other, I like to start on this side and make sure that it's tight. And you want to hit this edge to this edge, because out here is going to be sticking out so you get your trim in there. So once you line it up where you need to have it, and pre-drilling is so much easier, you can attach it. And now you're straight and go 10 to 12 inches all the way down your track. After attaching our head track to your burn down the track, we came and did our RN 352 and went down 8 to 10 inches, screwing it down, using a laser level to make sure that it stays straight. After that, your center piece is going to be loose. The way we got the measurement to keep it straight, with our chalk line that we did from edge to edge, you then measure right on this side to get your squareness, the same from here to here. Typically we use a tap gun to anchor down to the ground. You always want to do it in this die line that we have to keep it consistent, because this is going to be your glass pocket for the flush slider. Then you use your RN 351 or glass stop, and you set it in. After you're complete, lock the front side, and you're ready to snap it all the way in. After you have secured your whole frame by screwing it down, anchoring it, you want to add your vertical trim. I've added that one. If you need more details on how to put on trim, you can look at our videos for how to snap on trim and notch it. On this side you won't have a clip, on the other side you will, so you will have to pre-notch on the opposite side. But just like our other videos, you lock it in, use a block of wood and a metal, hit it, take it all the way down, and you're almost done with this side. Your next step that I'm going to show you is how to install your RN 465. This is your receiver pocket that's going to lay on your O3 member. Now we're ready to install our RN 465, the receiver pocket. When you get it right underneath it, this is the flush side. You want to keep it flush on the sides. Line it up with your track. Using the self-tapper screws provided by Rayco. Just go down the center line, tapping it down. And continue it all the way down by keeping this flush, 8 to 10 inches. Now that we've tapped the receiver and we have it pretty much all the way complete on this side, before going to the other side, you want to look in your accessory pack and look for this floor guide. It's to guide your door. You're going to set it on top of finished floor. They've set it up where you put a screw right in the center. In your hardware pack, there's also two self-tapping screws that are flat, so they don't rub against the door. Start by pushing the guy down, going straight down the middle, and locking it in there. Like I said, there's two of them. If for some reason your door comes off, your door comes out being too short, you can also move this guide up. Our next step, we're going to show you how to install our RA107 clip and our RA406 clip. On the back side, there's only one clip that needs to be installed. The rest have been screw raced together like earlier in the video. We like to use our ST137s, which are provided in the accessory packs, Rayco. The offset clip, make sure to keep it a little bit off here so that you can get your trim on there. And don't forget that you're going to have to pre-notch for this trim. Our other clip, our RA406, gets put in the pocket to help support everything. Then you'll add your filler piece. The P050, also known as a pocket filler, will go in between the track and the outside of the frame. You want to insert it. Sometimes you might have to notch out a little bit for your clip, but you just simply stick it right in there, line it up, get you a block of wood, and just take it all the way down till you finish. Now that you're set to put on your trim, this side, because this is the only one that takes the clip, the reason for that is, remember, we screw race the rest of it, so you don't need any clips over there. This doesn't come pre-notched from the factory. If you don't know how to notch our trim, you can refer to our other videos. But just marking your trim here, notching it, setting it in there. Always start with your verticals on the outside, then you can get your top from the inside to inside, then get your bottom from underneath the floor, and then your base. And this is our final product of our flush slider. It's trimmed out, inside or out, whichever way you like.